beautiful souls. It's Kirstin with Kismet, and it's time for our Monday affirmation. I'm so excited to be with you this morning. I have my beautiful cup of tea, and oh, by the way, I am Mom of the Year in my house, and I certainly hope you're Mom of the Year in your house. I am just in awe of today's affirmation, and wait until I tell you why. So I prepared myself and I asked for divine guidance, and the card that I picked today was In Forgiveness, There is Freedom. And it's this beautiful painting of a tulip um, blooming, which is not happening anytime here in Minnesota. We just received 6 inches of snow over the weekend. But in forgiveness, there's freedom. Just like in forgiveness, there's rebirth and new life. And I just want to share a story with you today about forgiveness and freedom. And so this actually pertains to me. Last night was the full moon, blue moon, and as part of my full moon ritual, I go through and release and let go and forgive all that has happened to me from the very long, long past to the frequent past. And so last night I had decided I would dedicate that ceremony to forgiving myself. I've been carrying on a lack story since 2008 that is not serving me, and I finally reached a point, I might tear up a little bit, sorry about that, where it was time to let it go. And so I did a couple things. I wrote a letter to the Kirstin of 2008. The Kirstin of 2008 was struggling a great deal with money. It was, as you know, the recession, and I had a business, and basically I was going through bankruptcy. The collectors were calling. There was all sorts of, excuse me, there was all sorts of angst in my life, a lot of stress. I was doing everything I could to pull it together for my family, to look out for my girls. I was overwhelmed with everything that was going on. And so, as part of this process with the bankruptcy, afterwards I got into a total lack mentality where I sold jewelry so my girls could go to camp, where I was in a relationship where the other person didn't change their money habits and I needed to pull back, and so I didn't spend anything on myself. And this lack story has carried through 10 years later. And so it was time for me to let go and forgive that Kirstin, knowing that she did the best she could with what she knew at the time, and to let her know that it's safe now for us to welcome abundance into our life. And so I wrote a letter to her, and then I used my flamethrower, actually it's that little Bic thing, and burned it and let it go. And in that moment of freedom, I was open to what's coming forward for me in the future. So as you go throughout your week and you think about forgiveness and freedom, I want you to remember a couple things. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgiveness is taking the lesson from the experience, um, actually recognizing the person who helped you learn that lesson, and letting go of the anger, the pain, the frustration, the sadness that no longer serves you. And as when you let go of those other emotions that don't serve you anymore, that's where the freedom happens. That's where you're cracked open and you can move forward in your life. So this week, think about it. Think about who or what is holding you back, even if it's you, and go through a forgiveness practice of your own. It could be a simple meditation where you call in those people, send them off into a bright pink light and let them go. Or it could be writing a letter to someone who's hurt you in the past, even if it's you. So I hope that you all recognize that we are so much greater than things that have happened in our past, and that forgiveness is the path that leads us to abundance and freedom. So with that, I hope you have the most fabulous, wonderful, soul electrifying week ever. I hope this serves you. Thank you. I can't turn it off.